On the surface, isn't it great? Over the last 12 days, including some there's still to come, we had NFL games on 9 days.
It's great. It's a bit overbearing dealing with.
Well, it's great until you realize why. Until you think about why it's happening.
But I think slightly, and not that the NFL really wanted this to happen, but really they've been able to now spread out their games a little bit more. There's no college to compete with. There's no high school to compete with. There's another day you can sort of monopolize a Tuesday. Maybe you end the week that way. It does change a little bit. I feel terrible the fact that COVID is the reason they're doing it. I do believe that we do need to get to a second bye. I think that's the main issue. I think I brought that up last week. I do think because of COVID specifically and because of the way injuries have rolled out this year with head injuries and all the different things that have gone on with players, I do think that we do need a second bye just in case we run into something similar like this again so we can go to a shutdown, go back to a schedule, and everybody feels a little bit more comfortable. But at any rate, it's fun to watch. These teams are all in it. So there's really no dull game. The games they moved, everybody's trying to make the playoffs. And like Duffy said last week, anybody can get it, especially in the AFC.
Chaos. I love chaos. I'm Mr. Chaos. Look, taking the reason for it happening out of it. How great is it that every night except for Wednesday and Friday, football last week, right? Every single night. And like you said, every single game matters. Oh, by the way, they matter. And you're going to be missing several key pieces of your team. It was, what's the word I'm looking for? It was like a carnival atmosphere last year in the beginning of the season when this was happening because, there was clear winners and losers and leaders and not now everything's on fire. Everything is on complete fire and it doesn't matter how good your team is, right? Figure out a way to win so you have a way to keep surviving throughout this season.
Yeah. And you talk about chaos. You're trying to stay ahead of the thing by moving these games. So you've got the situation now where the Washington football team is getting healthy enough to play their game, and the team they're playing, the Philadelphia Eagles, are on the other side of it. And it's like, if we played Sunday, we'd have been fine.
Absolutely.
But think about the changing of the rosters of going for it. You brought Washington up, and then Tyler Heineke's story comes up, and then, oh, by the way, you lose your quarterback. Or, oh, by the way, just before the Bills game against Carolina, you're finding out, oh, my God, they're testing other players to kick the football. Changes your strategy, changes everything that you're doing. So losing a key player, I guess my question would be now, I know how obsessive you are about the Bills, but is it, no. Well, he is. He's very obsessive about the Bills, even though following Josh Allen at a play will tell you nothing.
And you're not.
I'm obsessed about the denial of the Bills, but at any rate, I'll get off of that topic. I want people to know one thing. How much are you following your team on a daily basis, every single second? Not just for fantasy or for betting, but just to make sure everybody's healthy. I think the coverage of this is going to explode because day to day, you don't know who's available.
To his point, it's 7 o'clock Sunday mornings. I wake up, I tweet out game day ! Hashtag Bills Mafia, and then I sit there nervously from 7 a.m. until noon to see who is now on the COVID list because they're testing game days. And on Sunday, John Feliciano, offensive lineman, which completely wrecked their entire game plan, test positive. I'm sitting there literally chewing my fingernails to the bone. Don't be Josh Allen. Don't be Josh Allen. Don't be Josh Allen.
Yeah, and teams aren't practicing. These teams have their games moved. It's a good thing that they had a dry run. They got the dry run in last year, so they know that they have something that works. But to your point, it's just chaos.
But even for the Browns, coming back for the Browns, you're practicing in video. You can't be around different people. You can't prepare for a game like that. I know a lot of people went at Baker Mayfield for making that comment about the NFL, but then the NFL did move that game, and understandably so. So all of this stuff is just playing into a team trying to make the playoffs. We only have 3 weeks left. So it's not like, we had to go to video this week, we'll recoup and come back. No. Matter of fact, for the Saints, they lost their head coach, went out there and played shutout football.
And they didn't even have Kevin James on the sideline to fill in for him.
Everyone.